Hello there. I'm a little bit sad today. I've only got one more episode of Andor left, so I feel a bit depressed. There's going to be no Star Wars for almost 2 months. This is not good. What am I going to do?
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
Okay, anyway, I'm sure I'll get through it. Let's all pull through together. We can make it. Yeah, last night's episode, again, really good. Not as good as the Prison Break episode, I thought, but you know, they're kind of setting things up for the finale next week, where the shit's gonna hit the fan and everything's gonna go down. I think it's probably gonna end on a cliffhanger, you know, to be continued, and everyone will be like, oh, no, and we'll have to wait like a year and a half and pick up where we left off. But yeah, overall, Andor has just been such an amazing experience, and I'm really looking forward to all the merchandise coming out, especially, you know, Black Series and TVC figures, because that's what I'm really into. Woke up this morning and I saw that Yakface had posted some new reveals, so courtesy of Toy Hideout on Instagram. So let's just go through the first one, which is there's a new wave of Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary cardbacks. So I'm going to bring up the back of the card. Actually, the first one that he posted was the Gamorrean Guard, and I was like, oh yes, that is, like, I don't know if you guys remember, probably about 4 years ago, the Gamorrean Guard was in the Red and Black series packaging, and it was a deluxe. It didn't have the D on the side, you know, D1, D2, D3. But before, when we had a store exclusive or a deluxe, they just wouldn't put the number on the side. And this has got to be like, I think it's one. The top 5 best Black series like ever made, I've probably put him in there like 1 or 2. He's just so good. I haven't met anybody that said that they didn't like this figure or they didn't think that this action figure was completely bloody awesome. And I'm so happy that we can get it on a cardback as well. He's really bulky and really heavy, so I hope the bubble can be strong enough and gravity doesn't pull him off the cardback. So yeah, the Gamorrean Guard. We're also gonna get Bib Fortuna, the Emperor, Patplu, who I think will be very popular because we haven't had that many Ewoks, and a lot of the ROTJ fans, they want to get lots of different types of Ewoks. We got the Stormtrooper, meh, and Chewbacca. Now, on first, I was like, oh, what do we need another Chewbacca for? And then Yakface has spotted that his head sculpt is not the same, it's totally different. And he's got like a chain collar and a leash coming down. So that is, that's from the first part of the movie, isn't it? Where Leia Bush, she's in her bounty hunter disguise, and she's got Chewbacca on a leash, and she has that confrontation with Jabba and says, you know, I'm going to use this thermal detonator, and he does the ho ho ho, I like your kind of scum. And we just got the Leia Bush in the Archive series with the updated face mold, so I think that will be cool. Just put those two together. Can we have a Jabba the Hutt on a cardback? Is that physically possible? I don't know if that would work out.
Chisa, Picha, Kuanki Chewbacca.
Right, secondly, we got some images of, and these are still Black Series, okay, the Imperial Guard and the TIE Fighter, and they're carbonized, and I was kind of like a bit sort of confused and pissed off because I thought we'd all agreed that Hasbro wasn't gonna, like, we weren't expecting any more carbonized figures, and they don't have a good reputation for selling very well, especially after the last batch we got last year, which were just all peg warmers. And even when they were put on clearance, people refused. They were like, why do I need you need to pay me to take one of those, you know, those figures. They were awful. But I don't know. I think some people will buy them because of the they're on Cardbacks. They've got the you know, before the carbonized figures were in the Galaxy line packaging, right? But they've got them on the Cardbacks. So I think, isn't this the first time we've had carbonized figures in the bubble? Could be. So and also I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, you know, just looking at the images that they have, they're the same as the Akbar. They have the cardback is like a little bit thicker, and they have like the shiny surface. If they like this, then I think, yeah, they probably would sell a lot better than, yeah. One reason why, as a retailer, I like these ones as opposed to, say, these ones. These are like the normal 6-inch cardbacks. Right, the cardbacks here, the card is not that strong, and it's quite easy to get dented or folded, or like you can see these little creases in the side, and over time shelf wear will become a problem. But with these ones here, that's not such an issue. So I like these from a seller's perspective, because I know that they won't depreciate in value. Then they'll stay on my shelf, or they'll stay in my Hasbro case, and then I know that I can take them out and put them back in again, and they're not going to get damaged. They're like really sturdy. I like them. So you guys can let me know in the comment section what you think. I always value your opinions. Cardbacks, carbonized, is that a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or you're not sure? You need to wait for, because these are just like the kind of like glamour images. I want to see them actually. I want Hasbro, I want someone from them to do a live stream and actually show me the physical figure, and then and on a spinny table, so I can take a closer look. And also, what do you think about that new wave of ROTJ hardbacks? You like it? Which ones are like really good? Which ones are like, I mean, yeah, for me, I'm definitely going to be getting the Gamorrean Guard. I'll be getting multiples. Pass on the Bib Fortuna, because he came out in one of the waves this year. I don't need another one. The Stormtrooper, I just don't know why they did that. I know it's the new Stormtrooper mold. It's like, yeah, but even still, come on. The Chewbacca probably, because like I said, you can have Chewie with Leia and have that whole palace scene, right, at the beginning of the movie. And then Paplu's good. And then in the Emperor, we just had the Emperor, didn't we, in the Archive series, so I probably will pass on that one as well. Yeah, and isn't that it? Let me just check. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I want to turn my attention to some crazy customs and some crazy toy picks. This one I think is the funniest. It's the KX security droid, and someone said that they were curious what he would look like if you put his backpack on his head, and he looks a bit like a Wall-E mutant on like steroids or something. It just looks weird, but at the same time, you know, but it looks like that actually could be a droid, like that's supposed to be how it looks. So I thought it was quite funny. Best custom figure I saw like recently is from the Instagram. At first I thought, oh wow, that's like, isn't that from the Disney sequel? That's the Knights of Ren. And then I took a closer look and I was like, no, it's not. Oh, it's a Starkiller. It's Lord Starkiller. Like really cool, and it's got that white packaging. It's really hard to find those now. Yeah, I just love it as a custom. We're going to be getting Starkiller at some point, but I don't know if he's going to be in that like Sith armor, or he's going to look different, you know, because in the comic books, Starkiller has a couple of different looks, doesn't he? I think this is the one that fans want to see the most, you know, with a removable helmet, of course. It's like, because Luthen Rail in his antique store, he has that armor behind him. It's like one of those Easter eggs in the background. And recently we had Remembrance Day, which is 11/11, November 11th every year. You know, it's in the UK we call it Poppy Day, where we commemorate those who fell in World War I and World War II. And basically it's kind of like Veterans Day in America, where we just pay our respects and say thank you for your service. One of my favorite customizers, his name is Steve. He's from the UK. You can look him up on Instagram. It's called Centurion's Corner. He's got a YouTube channel as well. And he did this lovely custom clone paint job where he like the color of the armor is the same as the old Battle of Britain's Spitfire, and he's even got the zero, like the insignia on his chest plate. And yeah, it just looks lovely. I really like it. Even it's got removable helmet. It's a phase 1 helmet, and like underneath he's painted like one of those old military colonel handlebar moustaches.
Don't stand there gawping like you've never seen the hand of God before! Now, today we're going to do marching up and down the square!
Okay, the other thing I did do today was I had a quick peek at, well, it wasn't a quick peek, it was a 20-minute peek at Landspeeder Luke's new video. And now he's already got his 2022 you know, Black Series review up on the channel, even though we do have some more figures to be released this year, and like I mentioned in my last video, we've got one more wave. But I do suggest you like watch it from start to finish, okay? It's like a lot of you on YouTube, you've got the attention span of a goldfish. You're just, these shorts are like a minute long, and I'm like, so that's a problem like for like other YouTubers who like to make lengthier videos and like kind of talk a little bit longer and go into more detail. You know, it's like a lot of people now, they can't even be bothered. If the video's over 5 minutes, they just like immediately switch off. That's not good. But anyway, Landspeeder Luke made it's like about a 20-minute long video. Very good. And I think this is the first time I've seen like his entire collection of Black Series, because he's got everything on display on the shelf, and it's like 3 or 4 levels, and he's got hundreds and hundreds of figures. It looks really cool. Not just Black Series, he's got like he's got the Bandai, Mafex, all kinds of stuff on there. Like, yeah, he's got some really cool customs as well that he's made by himself. So I've got my my notification bells set to his channel now, and I'm like obsessively watching all of his videos. I just ran out of Purge Troopers. I knew it was going to happen. This one, the Purge Trooper Phase 2, by far was like the top selling item in my store this whole year. And I remember when the supplier, he was like taking my order, and he said, yeah, you can get the Purge Trooper, and they're all in like single cases. So in one case you get like 8 of them, and I was like, oh man, and the price was really good. And I can't remember exactly how many cases I ordered. I mean, it goes into the hundreds. Like it's just an insane amount of money and an insane amount of figures just for that one figure. But I knew, I was like, this figure is gonna sell, and it did. And then my last one went yesterday, and I felt a bit gutted. And I'm like, well, should I get more? I mean, I cannot get any more from the supplier, but I know there are other sellers and collectors out there who do have them. I'm just wondering if I should get some. I think maybe in 2023 that will become like a super hot clone, a super hot trooper to collect. So you might want to think about that. If you have them, hold on to them for a bit, because I think the price is going to go up. But I still prefer the Phase 1 Purge Troopers. There's just something more aesthetically pleasing about their helmets. After watching that first video game, Jedi Fallen Order, the Purge Trooper was like the design of it, the helmet and the colors, the red and the black, for me was very striking. I was like, oh, I haven't seen anything like that before. It looks really good. And yeah, the Purge Trooper Phase 2 does, I mean, it is awesome, but the helmet for me looks too, it's like a cross between Vader's helmet and a First Order Stormtrooper. Kind of weird. I know everyone has their own like perspective on these figures and designs, but yeah, I just really prefer the very first Purge Trooper with the red pauldron. That's the best one. And then there was another one that came out, Gaming Greats, and he has the Electro Staff, which is really good too. But that first one with the red pauldron, I think, is beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Right, next week is Thanksgiving on Thursday, isn't it, for you Americans? Black Friday is coming up, so I thought, well, I might as well get into the spirit of things. Next Friday, Black Friday, I'll be doing my own sales, so you better keep your eye out on my website, on my store window, because I'll be having some reductions in some of my figures. All right, so that will be pretty cool. Well, I have a question that I want to ask my viewers, because I just don't really know what's going on. Like, I can't explain this phenomenon. Like, what's happening with this guy? Because the hype around his release, people were going crazy. Like, we really need a Saw Gerrera. You know, Rogue One came out years ago, and I can't believe you haven't even made his figure yet. And then Hasbro gave us the images and showed us like what he was going to look like, and everyone went, wow, that's amazing, have you seen Saw Gerrera? And he was like the talk of the town. And then, but when I ordered him, and like, he's just peg warming. I don't know, I don't get it, I don't understand why. And I know he's a deluxe, so he's a little bit more expensive, but you know, he is like the Gamorrean Guard, right? He is like a much bigger figure, like he's got a lot more like accessories and tools and stuff, and so for the price point I thought, hey, you know, it's probably worth it for Saw Gerrera. But these things are just like sitting on my shelf, man. I just don't know what to do with them. And even like with you know, Andor, the last couple of episodes, you know, Saw Gerrera's turned up, and he's been having some really good scenes. There's some good dialogue, him and Luth and Rail, that I just think, like, why is he not selling? And like, so in the future, when Black Series or TVC collectors ask for, can we have a Saw Gerrera in the from the Clone Wars? You know, a younger version of him, a Clone Wars version, or can we have a Saw Gerrera from Andor, who's just like slightly different from the Rogue One version? I mean, Hasbro, I think they'll probably go no. And the sellers, like myself, I'll be like, no, please don't do that. Like, it just doesn't sell. And I don't get it, because he's a magnificent figure. I think he's one of the best figures, you know, from this past year or so. He's very, very good. So, if you can, what is going on? I don't understand this weird phenomenon with Saw Gerrera. Why he doesn't sell, like, really well like the other ones. And he's like a hero as well, after all. I mean, I know he's kind of like an anti-hero, you know, but still, he is one of the main characters, and he's got such a strong presence on screen in Rogue One, and again in Andor. So I just find it weird, why is he not selling? Right, thanks a lot for all your support and all your comments underneath each video, and when I put like images up on my comments tab as well, people are like clicking like, and if I have a survey, a poll, people are participating in it. So I feel like my channel is kind of growing. This year was like the first year like I really took my channel seriously, to be honest with you, because I'm so busy wrapped up in you know, setting up my own store. That takes up a lot of my time, so I'm trying to find more time to do like better videos, but it's hard. So I appreciate your support on social media a lot. All right, so yeah, hit that subscribe button and like and share with your friends, and I will see you in the next one. May the force be with you. And like, oh man, what's gonna happen to little to B2 Emo now? Emu. He's an emu. I feel sorry for him. So sad.